What's up, humans, and welcome to a new Psicoactivo live. We're live from Tijuana, but we're also live right here. Okay, let's see.
Space Center. Here's Gary Jordan, who's embedded with that team. Gary, you might have to pause because we did just hear a call out to the commander in Orion.
Will do, Megan. I think that was Commander Reed Wiseman responding to prepare for some of the next steps. We are now holding at the T-minus 10-minute hold, expected a 30-minute hold. So we are well on the countdown. We are well on the timeline to meet this L- time and launch towards the beginning of the window, but continuing to track progress along the way. Again, I'm here with the Artemis II flight control teams in Mission Control Houston. The team in the room behind me has been monitoring the countdown and verifying their own mission-specific launch criteria of the Space Launch System, the Orion spacecraft integrity, and its crew. During the final poll before launch, if all looks good, from each of the flight controllers in this room, Flight Director Judd Freeling will report a go for launch from Houston Flight. Upon liftoff, teams here take control of the mission and communicate with the crew while they fly on the Space Launch System. This phase of flight is highly dynamic, and each console position has a dedicated and important role of looking after critical systems. You'll hear calls from Capcom and NASA astronaut Stan Love in this room to the Artemis II crew as milestones are reached during the more than 8 minutes of powered flight on the core stage.
So while this happens, I just got to put you up to speed a little bit. There was a small hiccup with the communications, and the flight or the launch has been delayed for at least 20 minutes or so. It says T-minus 37 minutes and 15 seconds and counting right now. But please let me know in the comments how you guys are feeling with today's mission. It's been 50 something years since nobody has gone to the moon. Nobody knows exactly what happened. There's a lot of different stories of why humans didn't go back. But the fact of the matter is that we haven't gone back. And today seems to be today. The launch was actually delayed about a month or so because it was going to happen supposedly at the end of February or something like that. And now that we're here, I think that if everything goes well, we could make history. And that is a trajectory right there that you see of the Artemis II mission. It is going around the moon and it's going to go through the dark side of the moon. Hopefully communications don't break there, right? But let's continue there a little bit. We got just the latest. This is a live stream right now that we're going to retransmit here. And if you have any questions, I'll be right here in the chat for a little bit. After we end with this, hopefully we do get a launch and everything goes well. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm not going to lie. I'm sure you guys are as well. The first woman is going to be on the moon as well. Hold on. Her name is Christina Koch, and she's part of the Artemis II crew. And there's going to be a historic day for her as well. So shout out to her. But let me get the volume back a little bit for you guys. Hold on.
Around the Earth, that's when they're going to start to be able to really check out this spacecraft. The Orion spacecraft is going to be able to, like we've talked about, be maneuvered by the crew. They're going to check out those life support systems, and communication checkout's going to be vital at that point as well, obviously. Then they will be conducting that another burn, and that's going to raise them just a little bit higher again. And then they will, it'll be about time for the ICPS to separate, and they will start another lap around the Earth as well. Now, the ICPS, but even after it separates, its job will not be done because they will have the opportunity to conduct something called the proximity operations demonstration. And this is going to be really important for our future lunar missions because the ICPS actually has a target on it, and the crew is going to have the opportunity to manually maneuver these spacecraft like we've mentioned and practice those docking maneuvers. Now, obviously, they will not be docking for this mission, but that is, again, going to be critical for those lunar missions in the future.
Sorry, guys. That's as far as I can go on the audio. I do apologize for that.
done that second lap, they're going to conduct 2 more burns. And what these burns are going to do is set them up to the high enough orbit and a fast enough speed in order to conduct the translunar injection. This is going to be that critical moment and that critical milestone where they are going to produce about 6,000 pounds of thrust. And this is that point that is going to take them out of low Earth orbit into deep space, and it's going to set them on that nice path towards that lunar flyby. And I know we have talked a little bit about why this could be a record-breaking flyby and journey to the moon. And with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Megan so she can tell us just why.
Yeah, she's talking about the distance record set by the Apollo 13 astronauts in 1970. They were 248,655 miles away from Earth, and this Artemis II crew might surpass that on flight day 6 when they fly around the moon by more than 4,000 miles.
Yeah, it's a long ways. It's tough to fathom 250,000 miles from Earth, right? I mean, space, the space station is only 250 miles. And so we're going, I don't want to do the public math, but we're going much further than that. But it's important, right? Because we want to get back to the moon. We want to see the surface. We want to see the far side of the moon. And the way we do that is by breaking distance records.
Yeah, and the exact distance record depends on exactly when they launched, like the time, the day. So we'll learn more as we go into this 10-day mission with the Artemis II crew. But here we are, 32 minutes, 50 seconds and counting from the opening of our launch window. Feels really, really surreal here as more and more people come to gather on the press site lawn here at Kennedy Space Center. Why don't we take a look at this video that we have here? Some familiar faces who wanted to wish our Artemis II crew a safe journey.
Reed, Victor, Christina, and Jeremy, you are the real deal. You're flying to the moon for all of us, and we are in awe. You're the true heroes.
You are not just astronauts. You are pioneers, venturing deeper into the unknown. But you are not alone. We will be all cheering you on from planet Earth.
Hey, I'm Victor Wembanyama, and I play basketball in the NBA. But I'm not only interested in shooting hoops. I'm also interested in shooting stars.
The alien himself.
All the types of astronomical phenomenon. And to the Artemis II astronauts who are shooting for the moon, I wish them good luck and Godspeed.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ryan Gosling, and I play a biologist who goes to space to save the planet in the film Project Hail Mary. But the Artemis II astronauts are going to space for real, and they will travel farther from Earth than any humans in history. Sending all our best wishes to the Artemis II crew.
I just want to say how proud I am of each of you and how inspired you make me. But it's not just about me. Your mission is going to inspire future generations of scientists, engineers, athletes, and dreamers to do something that they never thought possible.
Hey, it's Roy Wood Jr., and I want to wish the Artemis II crew a happy and safe journey to the moon, well, around the moon. To go around, I know what you're doing. You got to look for a parking space. This is to go around the moon, make sure somewhere to park.
You got to look for a parking space.
Journey. Good luck.
It's actually a really good way to explain what how this mission builds. Again, we are hoping to land astronauts on the surface of the moon in maybe 2 years. So yes, we are looking around the moon on this lunar flyby mission to see where we might park. Thank you, Roy Wood Jr. Okay, and as we look at this live view of the rocket on the pad, there is a spectacular place here at Kennedy Space Center to watch launch from, and that's the Banana Creek viewing area. Why don't we go back there where the crowd is excited, and Leah has the best assignment ever talking to people who are super excited about being here for Artemis II.
Oh my gosh, Megan, you talk about the excitement being palpable. I'm telling you, everybody here on pins and needles as we get just about half an hour away from launch. I've been walking around talking to people, and I'm just struck again and again by how many people are here from across the agency. I want to introduce you to just a small portion of the people across NASA who have been supporting this mission.
Patty Ortiz, NASA Armstrong Flight Research Center, Orion Program.
Orion.
Kathy Graves, Glenn Research Center, Office of STEM Engagement.
David Alexander, NASA Glenn Research Center, Office of STEM Engagement.
Jennifer Becerra, Johnson Space Center, the Office of STEM Engagement.
Here we go, right back here. Where are you from?
I'm from NASA Glenn Research Center, Joseph Pinakitis.
Joseph, here we go.
Wes Furman from APL.
Maria Arredondo from Headquarters, Next Gen STEM.
Mark Robinson, Stennis Space Center, Commercial Space.
Amira Flores, Armstrong, Office of the STEM Engagement. Molly Kearns, NASA Glenn, Space Communications and Navigation.
Matthew Pierce, Goddard Institute for Space Studies in New York City.
Here we go, and right over here.
Lauren Ring, Ames Research Center, Data Integration.
So we're coming together. We're one big NASA team, one big NASA family, and we have one major message before we launch tonight. Okay, guys, what are we going to say? 1, 2, 3.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That made me so emotional. That was so inspiring to see. I mean, wow. Yeah, that was great. I mean, just to hear everybody say their position, what they're doing to support this mission is amazing. And I'm sure this was something that really rang true and resonated with NASA's Administrator Jared Isaacman, again, to see the workforce come together to do the work and then to be here for launch. So why don't we actually go over to him now with our Jasmine Hopkins at one of our other viewing locations.
All right, Megan, thank you so much. The energy here on the balcony is honestly becoming electric as we get so close to launch. And now we are thrilled to welcome NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman. Jared, we're really entering a golden age of exploration. How will Artemis II set the pace for the coming years?
Well, I mean, Artemis II is the opening act, right? This is the test mission. This is getting very comfortable with the SLS rocket, the Orion spacecraft. No humans have ever flown on this before, right? And we're going to put it through its paces. We'll go into Earth orbit for a little bit, make sure Orion's doing okay. And then we are sending them, right? We're going to send them farther into space than any humans might have gone before, 250,000 miles away. And it's going to set up for the subsequent missions. That's why we're going into the golden age of science and discovery right now, because you're going to see moon rocket launch in 2027 when we do our testing with the lander. We're going to go for the landing on Artemis 4 in 2028. And in parallel, we're going to build the moon base, right? And that is going to be filled with science discovery and tech demonstrations that's going to support.
Actually, I want to ask you guys, do you guys want to continue watching this, or do you prefer just talking about other things? Because I thought it was a good idea to let you guys have the build up here. I don't know how you guys feel about the trip to the moon, but I have other things to talk about. Like, there's an April Fool's joke from an Australian senator that didn't sit well with the community. I thought it was funny. I'm sorry, but I did think it was funny. And there's the documents and the list of videos that Congresswoman Luna sent to Secretary Hegseth. And it's very specific. I'm going to talk about that too. But I think this is the news of the day. It's 26 minutes. I can definitely tell you about the viral tweet before we continue with the moon stuff, because I thought that was funny, but some people didn't like it. And at the beginning, I didn't catch it really. What happened was that after Matt Gaetz gave spoke to Benny Johnson about these hybrids and all that stuff, I issued a tweet initially thinking that it was a senator who like sort of echoed what Gaetz said. And I thought it was a US senator. My mistake. I'm Mexican. I don't know all your senators' names. As it turns out, it was an Australian senator. And he made this joke because it was already April 1st in Australia. And I just got to read it to you because this tweet went really viral. 190,000 visualizations for 6 words. A sitting Australian senator, ladies and gentlemen. And I did have to edit it at the beginning. I thought it was a US senator. I was mistaken. I'm sorry. I don't know all your senators. But this is what this guy said. He quoted the statement from Matt Gaetz about hybrids. And he said, I wish I could say more, but unfortunately, everything I know about the alien hybrid program is classified. Let's just say some of you will be very surprised who's not entirely human. That's all I'm authorized to disclose at this time. And as it turns out, it was just a dumb joke, because this guy has a party in Australia and he's running for office that is called UAP. I think United Australian Party or something like that. But the joke reached everywhere. And then he released a video that I'm about to show you right now.
Breaking news.
It's true. There are aliens living amongst us. There are aliens in Area 51. There are even alien human hybrids. I have been briefed this morning in a top secret intelligence briefing that exposes all. Unfortunately, I am forbidden from speaking about it under pain of death. But know this, I will fight for accountability and I will fight for transparency. There is more to come. Stay tuned. Follow for more.
I mean, he's obviously taking the piss, right? And it's funny how so many people from Australia thought I was stupid for posting the message, the initial one. Honestly, I'm from Mexico. Our April Fool's Day is not in April at all. Our April Fool's Day is called Dia de los Inocentes, and it's in Spain and Latin America. And that falls on December the 28th, not April 1st. So whenever April Fool's Day comes, I'm thinking Mexican. So I'm thinking it's December 28th. So I forget about it. So I fall for it quite a bit. And I fell for this one, and it was dumb. I caught on quickly, though. That's why I corrected it. But I think my tweet stands. And I do think that, come on, guys. I mean, the other joke that, for example, Bill Maher made about abuse and anal probing and all that, that wasn't cool. And I'm sorry, live stream, don't cancel me, please. That wasn't cool because that constitutes abuse, you know. But this guy, I know it's disgusting that he's promoting a political party. I know, and I don't like the guy either. But he did make a lot of people fall for it, and it was kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. And please understand, I don't like this guy. I didn't think the joke was funny. I thought the stunt was kind of funny. That so many people fell for it. So yeah, I wanted to talk about that because I thought it was significant to mention. So let's see how the launch is going. Yeah, because I think let's just check on it just a little bit. Hold on. Let me bring you back. Here it is.
So tell me what color it is. And who's going to be on that rocket?
21 more minutes we have. I'm gonna lower the right here a little bit so you guys can hear me. So you know how it's always been like this with the lunar landing, the Apollo 11 mission specifically. There's a recent tweet from Congressman Tim Burchett where he basically denies that humans went to the moon. And this, I know it's one of the most controversial conspiracies of all time. I think we did go to the moon. I don't know why we didn't go back. There could be a million different explanations as to why. The one that they keep saying officially is that we don't have that technology anymore, which makes absolutely no sense. I don't know if you guys agree there, but something must have happened. And then there's also that already mythical press conference with Buzz Aldrin and what's his face? Edgar Mitchell and Neil Armstrong. And they were extremely serious. And then one of those astronauts also went to, I think, Ecuador right after he landed his moon mission. And he went like on a mission to a sort of megalithic site where there were ruins. And it was never really known exactly why he went there. He went looking for something, obviously, but there's something always really strange when it comes to the astronauts and launches and space stations and the moon. There's reports from either credible or not credible people that claim that Russian cosmonauts always saw stuff when they were going to the station, or Chris Bledsoe says that they found like giant things in orbit. So there's a lot of stories, right? But what is true? And this is where it gets tricky, though, because I don't know if you guys have seen that movie, Whack the Dog. That film was so revelatory when I saw it. And that depicts kind of exactly how governments and media outlets that at government are adjacent treat people and how they deceive them with the media. And that is absolutely happening. That is happening right now. Um, the US government is doing it daily. The Iranian government is doing it daily. The Israeli government does it daily. And people have become so desensitized by this that the level of trust in institutions like NASA, like the Department of Energy, like the governments is at an all-time low. I can tell you from my perspective, I'm from Mexico. I do not trust my government. I haven't trusted my government ever, ever, because they're corrupt. And I think I genuinely believe that every government has a level of corruption in it. And that's why events like this one, uh, there are times, and especially right now, that there's a lot of people that doubt what's happening, right? Um, but if it's really a thing that we are going back to the moon and we are going to get to see the dark side of the moon for the first time, allegedly, I want to be there for it, and that's why we're here right now. Also, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that interview that Sean Ryan made with a general a few months back, where he talks about the Chinese already having presence in the dark side of the moon, allegedly, and that they're mining helium 3, quote unquote, which is a mineral that they use apparently for superconducting and propulsion. He said that on the Sean Ryan show, and obviously it's really hard to tell if he what he was saying is real or not, but he was a general. And yeah, so imagine, out of all the possibilities, which one do you think is the most likely? You can put it in the comments there, just like a phrase. We did go to the moon, we did lose the technology, which is the official acknowledgement, and we haven't made it back because of that. They also say that there's a lot of radiation that happens between here and the moon on the way to the moon. Um, that's another reason that they give. Out of the more prosaic explanations, right? There's also the Ingo Swann book, Penetration, that talks about Ingo remote viewing the moon and getting in contact with alleged non human intelligences there, that they had a base there, that he saw them. That's another one that's most out there. Um, I don't know if there are transmissions from the Apollo missions that were either scrubbed or censored by any means. If that happened, what is in those recordings? I don't know what those astronauts from Apollo 11 saw. You could see their faces when they were at the press conference right after. They were really distracted. And you can interpret that in many ways. You can just go like, that's the face of somebody who is not telling the truth, or that's the face of somebody who is really traumatized by something that they saw in the moon. Who knows? The fact of the matter is that we're here. We're ready. 15 minutes and counting. And just tell me, what are you expecting from this? If it goes well after a certain point, it's supposed to last about 10 days, this mission. What are you expecting to see in the dark side of the moon? Let me know in the comments. I'll be reading comments for a little bit while this keeps happening, and then I'm gonna just play back. I'm just gonna bring the volume back up. But I saw a few super chats here. Shout out to Gabe Fulton. Thank you for becoming a member, man. And shout out to Captain Ibrahimo. Thank you for the super chat, man. Thank you so much for the support. Okay. So let's see. Some comments in here. Hold on.
One of these cutouts, they range in time between 2 seconds to 23 seconds, but you'll hear the NASA test director talk through that. We're getting ready to merge that loop from NASA Test Director Jeff Spaulding. And so now I'm listening to the launch team get ready to merge their operational channel. We're now entering one of the most consequential phases of launch day, and that's terminal count, the final 10 minutes.
And OTC, NTD on 212 for ComCheck.
Good, com. How me?
I hear you the same. STC?
2.
GTC?
GTC is on 212.
All right, copy that.
NASA Test Director Jeff Spaulding confirming communications with his team. There will be 2 polls that we'll hear. One from Spaulding, the NASA Test Director.
Sorry, guys. I just got a call from FedEx. I just got a package. I'm going to come back in 3 minutes. Give me 3 minutes and I'll be right back. I'm just going to leave you here with the transmission. I'll be right back.
But we need confirmation from each individual on the NASA Test Director team. So we'll hear him poll his team. The other poll that we're waiting for is the poll from Launch Director Charlie Blackwell Thompson, who will take that final status from NASA management before giving the go to come out of a hold. And you're seeing the clock count down at L minus 12 minutes.
CCL, OTC, Orion, RS1.
CCL.
Yes, sir. Reconfigure ARS primary loop ISO valves.
Copy, that's in work.
And CDR, OTC, Orion, RS1.
Go.
ARS loop ISO valves are being closed at this time.
Integrity copies.
Oh, man. Everything seems okay so far.
Our manager regarding the observation the CIs had a few minutes ago, they were able to.
Fingers crossed. Everything goes well, right?
Been there since 2025. Our manager has had a chance to review the findings, and they do not have any constraints from either a CIS or MER manager perspective.
Okay, copy all. And Launch Director, NTD, you copy?
Okay, Nancy, this is interesting. You're close to the launch, I gather. So I don't know if you have X. If you do, you can post them on my X account and tag me, and I'll repost it and I'll show it here. If you can send me the images on Instagram or Facebook, I have Psicoactivo podcast accounts on both, also on X, or you can send me to my email and I'll show them here. Whoever is close and whoever wants to send pictures or videos, you can send them to my account and I'll show them here for sure. It's like a once in a lifetime event that happens. This happened back in the 60s and 70s quite often, and we haven't had this in a while. So yeah, I will be really, really honored if you guys are close to the event and you guys have either pictures or footage that you can send them here. Any of my socials works, so that's really cool. Thank you guys for that.
I have an LCC violation of O-CT-004 S-band transponder anomaly. This was a transient LCC violation, so transponder 1 had a demodulated SNR estimate that went down to 2 dBm. When it should have been between 10 and 13, it is now back up to 12, but we did lose that for just a moment. It does not appear that we lost our bit sync or carrier lock, which would be indicative that we lost our lock with the vehicle. So at this point, recommendation would still be go. However, we do have a pre-planned contingency procedure if we want to look at that. But again, this is transient, so we're back in a nominal range.
All right, let's see, LPE, NTD.
Yeah, we're not seeing that hit. So I guess the question for COSC, was that less than 3 samples? Is that below our persistence?
stand by. Let me look.
Oh
It
my
did
God,
look
10
like it
minutes,
did
10
prevent
minutes,
several
people.
seconds on mine, but let me take a look at the number of samples.
Wow.
Could I get a repeat on the affected LCC, please?
This is exciting,
Yes,
right?
ma'am. That's going to be O-CT-004.
Why did it stop?
Thank you.
The countdown actually stopped. I don't know if this is normal, but I'm looking into why it stopped. So if you guys have any information, please let me know. I'm also surfing the web right now, especially X, which I know that a lot of you guys don't like it. I honestly don't like it either, but it's still where like the real-time information takes place.
That was a single sample.
Yeah, copy that. RFTS
Hatch is now closed, and the Artemis II crew is fully aboard, strapped into their seats for launch to the moon. Holy crap. It's happening.
And COSE, while we're doing that, these are 1/10 hertz measurements, correct? So we would have had to lose it for over 10 seconds to get a second sample?
Yes, sir, that's correct. It is 1/10 hertz.
Yeah, so from our perspective, the allowance is effectively up to 30 seconds, up to 3 samples based on the 1/10 hertz. This is not an LCC violation, I believe.
Yes, sir, I would agree with that at this point. Copy that.
We're checking with KUS on 232. I don't think they have 212 access. We're trying to verify, but it sounds like they have a loss of lock as well. About 2 seconds. Okay. And I guess for both KUS and COSE, do we have lock now?
That's affirmed. We do have lock for COSE.
Yeah, so from the integration console perspective, we did have a temporary loss there within the allowable, and per the requirement, let's go.
And this is Houston Flight. We have lock and we have good telemetry here in GSE.
And KUS is reported to they have good lock now. So with all of that, OSC, then are we in a go configuration per your LCC?
Yes, sir. Recommendation would be go.
Okay, LP concur.
Oh,
with that?
wow.
Yes, sir. LP concurs go. And launch director.
Yes, sir. Launch director concurs go.
All right, and I'm going to go ahead and just verify everybody has everything else complete, launch director. And if we do, we'll be ready to pick up the poll at that time, unless there's something else that you're aware of.
No, sir. Let's verify all our work is complete, and I would like one last check of our constraints list.
All right, let's see. OTC, are you still waiting for ComConfig, or are you?
That is affirmed, sir.
Okay.
Oh man, I'm so nervous right now.
Yeah, OTC, this is CVSC. That 400 step 290 is complete. Copy.
Okay, so OTC, you're complete with all of your work?
That's affirmed.
All right, copy that. STC?
STC is complete.
And GTC?
GTC is complete.
Okay, excellent. All right, and LPE, just want to verify we have no open constraints at this time. No open constraints. We have a clear board, sir. Okay, tracking the same here. And launch director, with that, we are clear and ready to pick up the launch readiness poll with your go.
All right, sir. I am go for the poll.
All right. And for all personnel, this is the NTD conducting the Artemis II launch readiness check.
Oh my
Verify
God.
Ready to resume count and go for launch. OTC.
GC is go.
STC.
I think we have a last minute guest on the show. Just
MCO.
letting you know.
COs go.
Safety console.
The safety console is go.
LPE. LPE's go. RTD.
RTD's go.
Houston Flight.
Houston Flight is go.
ROC.
ROC is go.
And CDR.
Cruise go.
Copy that. Thank you, Reed. And launch director NTD, our launch team is ready to proceed at this time.
All right, NTD, I copy all. At this time, I'll perform my poll. Attention on the net. This is the launch director performing the final poll for launch, verifying no constraints, and go for launch. EGS, Program Chief
Artemis Chief Engineers are go.
Copy, thank you. AGS, Chief Safety Officer.
The Artemis CSOs are go.
Copy, thank you. Range weather.
Launch weather is go.
Thank you, LWO. And Artemis MMT Chair.
MMTs go.
Thank you, John. And Integrity Launch Director.
Good Air Voice Charlie, PLT.
Thank you, Charlie.
30 minutes late so far,
For our families.
MS1.
but it seems okay.
We are going for our teammates.
Oh my God.
MS2. This is Jeremy. We are going for all humanity.
Oh my God.
All right, Charlie, your Artemis 2 crew is go for launch. Full send.
Oh my God.
I copy that. Reed, Victor, Christina, and Jeremy. On this historic mission, you take with you the heart of this Artemis team, the daring spirit of the American people and our partners across the globe, and the hopes and dreams of a new generation. Good luck. Godspeed, Artemis 2. Let's go. And NTD Launch Director.
Go ahead, Launch Director.
Yes, sir. You have a go to proceed with countdown.
Copy that. I'll put it in work. CDR, NTD.
Go.
Your advisors and initiate short purge per your EPROC 10.1.1, steps 8 and 9.
10.1.1, 8 and 9 going to work.
Copy. CVSE NTD, start and verify recordings of our Orion cameras.
Copy. Okay. Well, there you heard it.
RSR NTD.
RSR.
They're getting ready to start terminal count.
arm rotation enable at this time, please.
It's currently at T-minus 10 minutes. Once we wrap up this last bit of work,
SNA arm rotation enable complete.
we're going to start that clock.
Copy that. Thank you.
Integrity crew, close and lock visors.
You heard an issue, worked in real time with telemetry lock on the Orion.
We got Dan Cleary in the house. Hey, Dan, how you doing, bro?
What's up, dude? How are
Welcome.
you? Thank you.
Nervous.
Are you?
I'm nervous. Yeah, because
About the launch?
Transmitter.
yeah, because I have that memory of the Challenger, and it was
Worked
really,
through that issue.
you know,
looked at the
and
data,
and there was some scientists who were like
all
putting out the alarm for some safety issues and the Artemis mission. So
Impressive work by the
I am
launch team.
worried, but
Yeah,
hopefully
I was
everything works out
6.
We
well.
have a 2-hour
I was
window,
6 when that happened. That was crazy.
which starts in
Yeah.
just a few minutes at 6:24
My
p.m.
my
Eastern
brother worked
time
on this
and
this
goes
launch.
until 8:24
Oh,
p.m.
really?
Eastern
Yeah,
time.
my older
Holy
brother.
crap!
He built the astronaut escapeway system, and he modified the swing arm for human access to the capsule.
And for all personnel, once we get
Oh
to
my
the
God, that's so awesome,
Yeah,
dude! I didn't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
verify that we are
So
Where
this is,
does he work specifically? He works at NASA.
terminal count.
No, he was an independent contractor. He's a welder, one of the best welders in the country, and it was just a contract for this job. And I think that's it. I don't think he's still working on it, but
No, hey, I wanted to commend you on your video about the black triangles. That was really good.
thank you. I mean, I didn't really do much. I just put together the clips, but I think it made a good point, and
Yeah.
we can talk more about it at a later time. But it's funny that Dylan is getting so much pushback and shit
Yeah.
for what he did, but then you have someone who is hired by the government to figure it out, being like, "Hey, these triangles are pretty interesting."
Yeah.
Well, okay.
And we're talking about obviously Tim Phillips,
Yes.
which was kind of shocking to me hearing him with Green Street of all people talking about it. And Greenstreet's face was a poem. Like
Oh,
he
that's
didn't
it.
believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, what? Really?
If people get
That
a
was so
chance
funny.
to go and watch the actual interview by itself, watching Green Street tells you more than listening to Phillips in some ways.
He was not expecting that at all.
And
It
he was like, "What? The triangles are real?" But it's funny
Yeah.
because Greenstreet saw one. I mean,
Yeah,
his
he
signing
did.
goes. Yeah, he's seen one. So whatever.
And let's like, there's a lot of people within the community who became more sour after a while because a lot of the things that probably the expectations that they probably had in ufology were not met, and I think that there's a lot of people that feel like that. It's not just him, because he started like totally pro UFO and very, very curious, and then he just made a switch along the way.
Yeah, if you're getting into this and you want answers right away, you have picked the wrong topic.
Or if you have a specific expectation, it's like you don't know. You know?
And I think a lot of us have had expectations from the beginning, but you have to be willing to let those just pass over you because it changes all the time.
Yeah, I agree. And about that Dylan Borland pushback, this is something that I spoke to Jeff Nucitelli about a little bit, which is that I don't know if people realize what happened in the Matthew Brown interview on Weaponized, that people from ODNI accused him, and they have accused Dylan of this as well, of treason.
Treason and
What's
espionage.
the penalty? What's the penalty for that?
It can be death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine how you feel like if somebody does that from fucking ODNI. I would guess that you would get really stressed out for a while. Like, so yeah, unfair. A lot of the treatment that both of them have been getting unfair.
Absolutely.
Completely.
But luckily for both of them, these are two very, very strong men who live and thrive in stressful situations. Even before coming forward, both of their jobs were very stressful and very of high importance. So these guys know how to deal with whatever comes their way, I think. And couldn't ask for a better group of guys that are kind of leading this thing at the moment.
Yeah. Hopefully by the time of contact, there's a lot more information about the effort that they're doing. So like we can talk about it more like openly with them. That'd be really cool.
And I'm including, Jeff in this and Grush and anyone who's kind of come forward to speak. Everybody,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even Lou though, because Lou like sort
Absolutely.
of started a lot of this. Yeah.
Absolutely. For sure. Yep.
Yeah. Oh man, the countdown is on, bro. Holy shit.
How long we got?
Like 7 minutes and counting.
Oh man, I'm getting like anxiety.
Yeah, me too. It's been 50 something years, 51, 52. Oh man. What do you think happened there? Do you think
Oh man, how
what's
weird
your
do you want to
theory?
get? I don't know.
Tell me what's your sensibility more specifically,
My logical gut is just like there's not a whole lot there, that like they got what they needed. And it makes sense. Like, if you and I were to drive, 20 hours to go to one desolate part of the desert, we get there, we spend a couple days there, and we're like, okay, we got some rocks. Are you and I going to drive back to the same spot of the desert? I mean, I don't know. If there's nothing there, there's nothing there. But is there something there? I don't know.
Remember that guy Wolf that spoke at the Greer conference back in the early 2000s? He talked about mushroom-shaped buildings or and stuff like that. You remember that? Those photos? That really puzzled me when it was mentioned for the first time. And then that guy apparently passed away under mysterious circumstances, didn't he?
I don't remember. I don't know.
Apparently that's what happened.
Okay.
So I mean, they're going through the dark side. Like they're going around and over the dark side. What do you think they would see there?
I don't know. I don't know like how corrupted my brain is from following this stuff for a long time. So in my mind, I'm like, well, obviously they're going to see 100-foot giants living in mile-high apartment buildings, but that's probably not accurate. I don't know, man. I don't know. The dark side of the moon, I don't know if it's just like a very organized mystery over the last 50, 60 years, but like we're taught that the dark side of the moon is this mysterious, who knows? It's like the Skinwalker Ranch of our universe,
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think I doubt there's anything there, but it would be fun if there was all kinds of shit. But it is so
Agreed.
bizarre, man, that like we only see one side of the moon always.
Yeah,
Why?
it's supposed to be like what's it called? Magnetically like linked to the Earth.
Yes. Yeah, of course.
That's supposedly the explanation, but it makes no sense to me. Why is it just like that? It's weird.
Like think about magnets. Like when magnets start to attract, the closer it gets, the more it pulls. So why would it only pull the moon in? I mean, I'm sure. Listen, obviously there's a scientific explanation that I don't know that someone could just explain to me why.
Me neither.
That's not fun. That's not fun. What's fun is speculating on what could be weird. But why? Yeah, why would it be magnetically pulled and then eventually just be like, okay, this is far enough? How do you break?
Someone
that
is saying
magnetic-
here that it's tidal locked. That's what it's called.
Whatever, nerd. Get out of here. Get your science out of here. No, that's
Imagine they go over the dark side and Chinese craft are there. That'd be really funny.
I wouldn't put. I mean, didn't China land there?
I mean, there's this general on the Sean Ryan show that said that the Chinese were already on the dark side, mining helium-3. That's what he said.
Was it a manned mission or like a robot deal?
It wasn't specific. It wasn't specific.
All right.
But interesting. Oh, 4 minutes. 4:20. Woo!
Hey, look at you.
It's April already, so yeah, and April 1st, which is kind of a weird day to do this, isn't it?
Completely. Like what? I know they plan for weather conditions and all that. You know, the closest spot to the moon at this point, whatever. But you couldn't wait a day or go one way or the other.
Yeah.
They couldn't wait for Friday the 13th or something.
That was last month, actually. Friday the 13th.
Have you noticed we've had a ton of Friday the 13th the last couple of years?
Yeah,
like
I
more than
have.
usual. I think we had 3 or
Yeah.
4 last year.
Yeah. We had one in October, which was funny.
Yep. That's the best time. That's the best.
Yeah. That's my favorite month in the entire year.
Same. How many people are on this?
882.
Oh, I thought it was like 4 people.
Oh, you mean on the rocket? I thought on the stream, bro.
No.
It's 4 guys, 3 guys and
Oh my
one
God.
lady.
Dude,
And the lady, what's her name?
Stupid.
Christina Koch. She said to become the first woman to fly around the moon ever.
Awesome.
That must be hella cool.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, 4 people. Oh my God. I'm so nervous. Sorry if I just like start talking nonsense a little bit.
That's okay. It's just I'm happy to experience this with you. It's cool. It
Yeah,
reminds
man.
me, like, do you remember like when we were kids? You may have already talked about this. I wasn't listening. I'm sorry, but like this is the kind of thing when we were kids, like everybody would be watching this. Everyone. And now I bet most of my friends don't even know this is happening. Like this used to be a unifying thing where all over the world, everyone's watching.
Yeah.
So
And,
how many
I
people
mean,
are watching
the-
this? How many people are watching
short-
the stream that you're viewing? How many people are watching that stream?
It says this is a Twitter live stream from NASA directly. That's 1.7 million people watching right now.
Oh, that's cool.
But there are many more like streams going. Like everybody's is
So
doing
this is on the
so-
official NASA stream.
Yes, sir. And it's kind of weird also that Trump is gonna speak in like supposedly half an hour. He's gonna give a speech, probably about the war.
I'm sure it will be
But I don't know
eloquent
if
and
he
beautiful.
will. I don't know if he will probably mention this. Man, hopefully it goes well, and they do make it outside of orbit.
2.3 million watching on NASA right now.
Damn.
That's cool.
The one that I'm playing is only the Twitter stream, so the
Okay.
one on YouTube must be blowing up as well. Thank you guys for the super chats, by the way. That's really nice of you. Thank you to Big. Did anyone see the fast moving object at 2825? I didn't.
Keep your eyes
Interesting.
peeled. This is when stuff
Yeah.
happens.
Captain Ibrahimo, yeah, there was no oil in the moon. Thank you to Laila. Thank you so much. And we got one last one here. The Emil Molnar. The moon takes the same time to rotate on its axis as to rotate around Earth. That's what it's called when a satellite is tidally locked. So by its own rotation and orbit, always show the same face. Thank you for the clarification. I didn't know that. Thank you. Okay.
Nerd alert. Nerd alert.
Yeah.
No, I'm
little
kidding.
bit.
You guys rule.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
I'm gonna turn up the volume a little bit, okay?
I'll be quiet. Let's watch.
4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition. And liftoff. The crew of Artemis II now bound for the moon. Humanity's next great voyage begins.
Good roll pitch.
I got goosebumps.
Roger, roll pitch.
Houston now controlling the flight of Integrity on the Artemis II mission around the moon.
Integrity, AMT high.
On time, passing 30 seconds into the flights. Integrity passes the ultimate deco. Target milestone. Mission Control Houston seeing good performance on the main engines.
Good luck, folks.
Stage. Integrity.
Bro, the sound must be crazy near there, right?
Traveling more than 1,200 miles per hour.
I would have earphones on.
Oh, they do. They do. Oh, you mean people on the ground?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God, bro. Godspeed.
Yep.
Mission elapsed time, passing 1 minute, approaching max Q.
On, pounds fully on. Stan, we have you loud and clear on pounds fully on.
Oh my God. This is so wild.
I love this. This is like when we're at our best. People, you know what I mean? Like
Artemis II mission. Integrity is 14
Yes.
coming together to do something as amazing as this, to leave the planet.
American exceptionalism. Oh man.
Can you imagine like the force of them being pushed back in their seats right now?
1 minute 50 seconds of mission elapsed time, standing by for main engine throttle down to 85%, ahead of solid rocket booster separation, expected at the 2-minute 9-second mark.
Come on, guys.
Throttle down. Confirmed separation. Main engine's throttling up, guidance converged.
Yes.
That's a big part.
Integrity, guidance converged.
Yes, sir.
Nominal upper stage RCS ready.
Look at how beautiful that is.
Integrity, SM priming complete.
SM priming complete.
2 minutes 45 seconds of mission elapsed time into the Artemis II mission. Thrusters on Integrity and upper stage confirmed in a ready state ahead of service module fairing separation. Minutes into the flight. Integrity 49 miles in altitude, 78 miles downrange, now passing 5,000 miles per hour.
That's a beautiful shot, bro.
God, what would that feel like to see that?
Standing by for launch abort system jettison.
No UFOs so far?
Houston Integrity, good last jettison.
Well, technically, we're a UFO now. Once we
That's
leave the
true.
atmosphere.
Copy jettison. Team Eco 8+02.
How fun would that be as a kid? That's awesome.
And Houston has you loud and clear on Tidris at the common line.
Outstanding, Stan. We have you the same.
Cheers, my friend.
Whoa.
Cheers.
Cheers,
3 minutes,
brother.
50 seconds into the flight of Artemis II, Wiseman, Glover, Cook, and Hansen crossed the boundary to space with good comm checks. GPS signals acquired after last jettison now working on internal checks to verify accuracy. Flight Dynamics Officer analyzed the time of main engine cutoff, confirmed at 8 minutes 2 seconds, time of MECO.
What a cool
So
shot
it
that
went
is.
well so far. So far, so good. What type of camera is that? Is that FLIR?
It looks like it, but I don't know shit. Cool.
Oh. Okay. So we're on.
Integrity GPS processing.
How long's the
Okay.
trip?
10 days.
10 days.
We see the
Yes.
same, and we have a beautiful moonrise. We're headed right at it.
Hopefully at around the 5th day, 6th day, something like that, we should be able to get some footage or images from the far side of the moon.
He has visuals of his destination. GPS guidance navigation.
What are they going to
control
show us?
software finishes internal checks and sends to navigation channels.
Oof.
Integrity 3 engine press.
And are they landing?
3 engine press.
They're
No,
landing on the
just
moon, or
go,
not?
they're just going. No, they're just going around
20 seconds
and
of
then
mission
back.
last time into the Artemis II mission. At this point, 3 good main engines are all that's
I guess they
needed
just
for
want to
integrity
like
to a nominal main engine cutoff target.
test the waters,
So at this
so to
time, we're seeing
speak.
4 good engines here in Mission Control Houston.
Is this
You
the
know,
first
this-
time on record that we've gone around the moon?
330 miles
Yes,
downrange,
and the
approaching
furthest
10,000
any human has
miles per
ever
hour.
gone on record from
Except for
Earth.
Corey Good.
That's right. I forgot about that guy.
Don't forget about
He doesn't
Corey
get enough
Good.
credit, you know. He doesn't
No,
get
man.
enough credit.
He's a real pioneer.
Careful, careful. He's gonna sue you. Careful.
Bring it, dummy.
6 minutes.
Oh man,
Cool,
I
man.
was just like, just for kicks, looking at the account from the Flat Earthers, with the one that with the most followers, and they're like watching the video, and they're like, "Look at that fake acting," and like all angry and shit. And I'm just thinking, boy, you're just angry that your conspiracy theory hasn't come true yet. All the rest have.
You just reminded me. Someone hit me up on one of my podcasts to come on and talk about flat Earth. Someone's a flat earther who wants to come and talk to me on the show about flat Earth, and I'm like, as fun as that would be, I don't think either one of us is going to learn anything. So I don't know what the point would be.
Yeah, like what Danny Jones did with that the astronaut and the moon landing denier. Do you remember that?
Yeah. That was tough to watch.
I thought that was unnecessary completely.
It also seemed a little bit like the moon guy was a little bit blindsided. A little bit blindsided by what that was going to be, and that's not cool.
Yeah, he wasn't expecting that. Yeah.
No.
Milestone at the 7-minute 30-second mark.
Oof. Oh man, so hopefully
Altitude at 650 miles downrange, traveling more than 15,000 miles per hour.
this is a good question. What do you think about this one? How are they getting through the Van Allen radiation belt? That was one of the like main things that I thought was the reason why we didn't go back.
That's
this belt.
That's the main pushback for anyone who claims that we haven't been outside of our own atmosphere. And again, I don't know the scientific answer, but there is one because people have done it.
About 10 seconds remaining until the main engine cutoff.
Oh, shout out to Cole, man.
What's up,
Hey,
Cole?
Cole.
Confirmation.
How you doing,
man.
Coley?
Core stage separation.
You guys don't realize
Man.
Cole's one of the coolest and funniest guys you'll ever meet in your life.
Yeah, and a fucking master designer. He's
Super talented.
so wild.
Super.
He made a bunch of my logos for Psicoactivo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you make the one that you're wearing? That shirt?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Integrity nominal MECO core stage separated.
Sorry.
And that is like a
Yeah.
NASA glove, right? That's what that is?
Yes, it's an astronaut.
very fair.
Oh, it's from this painting that I have in the back of the astronaut.
Yeah.
That was actually made by a good friend of mine from Tijuana. Her name is Sabina Espinosa, and she does a lot of great art, but it's like more like sexual type of art.
Sexual
And
art?
yeah. And I asked her if it was possible for her to just create something for me. I gave her the idea, and that's what she came up with. And then when
That's awesome.
Cole wanted to do the logo, I guess he took that as an inspiration, that painting, which I found really cool, and it's a wonderful logo.
So your shirt, I'm trying to, it reminds me of a movie. I'm trying to find the right poster for it. Here it is. Here it is. Let me send this to you. Every time I see this movie, I scroll past it on HBO, I think of you. I'll send it to you on our main chat.
A movie?
Yeah, it's a
You're
movie.
gonna send the link?
No, I'm gonna send you the movie poster, and it reminds me. Here
Oh,
you go.
okay,
I sent
cool.
it to Signal. Look at that. It reminds me of your shirt every time I see it.
Booster ignition.
Oh, let me put it
That time being
up
49
here.
minutes, 50 seconds of mission elapsed time.
Same color palette, the glove, the whole deal.
Hold on. Let me right here.
There it is. See what I mean?
Solaris.
Now show your
Yeah.
shirt. Yeah, see what I mean? Kind
Yeah.
of similar.
Yeah.
Love it. You should watch this
I
movie.
like it.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So what do you think is gonna happen with this? That's
The
it,
launch?
right? Like, yeah, that's it, right?
That's
Like,
it. I mean,
yeah.
are they going to stream the whole way around, or do we expect some very convenient camera breaks?
Not sure though. I haven't looked into that a lot, but hold on. Let me play it again.
I think we have a lot
It's
of
still
dead
there though.
feeds.
It's still there. Okay. That's not a real image, right? That's like a
No.
3D rendering.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the Chinese lunar landing that they played, have you seen that video? It looks so fake.
I don't know.
It looks really fake. And
Okay.
I was like, that doesn't look real. And they celebrated and everything. There's a video of it.
Between Capcom Stan Love and Commander Reed Wiseman.
Who was it that said when they got to space, they were blown away by the fact that you couldn't see any stars?
Wasn't it? Because I saw Shatner, who like did like a trip to space, and he said something along those lines, and like he got really emotional about seeing Earth, but like not seeing any stars really. Wasn't it him? I think.
Was it him? I don't know. Was that when he was
I think
standing
it was
next to Bezos? When he was trying
I'm
to
not
talk
sure.
about his feelings, and Bezos just kept like laughing or like celebrating over him. Do you remember that?
That's mean. No, I don't remember that.
So Shatner
I don't
had
think
just
I saw
gotten
that.
back. Oh, you'd hate it because you're a kind person with a big heart. But Shatner gets back to Earth, and like he's just like standing there being interviewed. He just got out of the vessel, and he's just like, that was just, I've waited my whole life for something so beautiful. And Bezos is next to him, shaking champagne and screaming and talking to someone next to him as like William Shatner, like the Star Trek guy, is trying to give his like very meaningful feelings on coming back from space. And this doofus is like kind of ruined the entire thing.
I mean,
As
he's a tech
doofuses will
billionaire.
do. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there's any tech billionaires who like I actually like.
Tech billionaires? I don't think so either.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
billionaires that I don't mind, but not many.
Yeah. But these like tech oligarchs, I don't
Mhm.
like any of them.
I mean, we've talked about it so much on Night Shift too, but you can't be one of those guys and be on team civilization and society.
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
for
they're
sure.
Not to say you can't do some good, but to have that much power and that much wealth and just to kind of like keep it close to you is a big humanity flaw.
Do you think that speaks to how much damage becoming a millionaire, like getting absolute power and like all the money in the world? Does that speak to how corrupted people get? for that? Like, is there anybody who is completely uncorruptible by that, do you think?
There probably are people that are uncorruptible, but I think that, I mean, I'm sitting here like judging it. And if I were given the opportunity to be one of those guys, if I started like amassing an insane amount of wealth, I don't know if I'm incapable of changing. I mean, I think I've seen it happen with people in the music industry and the entertainment industry quickly with much less success than what we're talking about. I think notoriety and fame and a powerful position and then a lot of money, it just changes you. And I think people can very, very quickly forget who they are and where they came from. And again, I might be one of those guys too. I don't know. I like to think not. I would like to think that you're not, but you don't know until you're in the position.
Yeah, I agree there. Oh, there's an interesting super chat that it says, been watching Jake Barber's helicopter flying in and out daily to and from Vasos Figure 2 Ranch. Why, I wonder. That's interesting. How would they know, Lisa, how would you know that it's Jake Barber's helicopter? I mean, there
And you
could
have
be
to
many
believe her.
helicopters.
Look at her name. You
Huh?
have to believe what she's saying.
Yeah.
It's Rusty. I mean, of course, that's the truth bomb after truth bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where is she seeing this?
I mean, what I heard is that he parks his helicopter actually not in the US. That's what I heard about that helicopter. But I don't know. I wouldn't know.
Does he park it in? I mean, because he's not too far from Southern California, I believe. I could be completely wrong. So does he park it in Mexico? We don't answer.
I would think that makes sense. I would think that makes sense. You know,
It's not Canada unless it's
Yeah.
offshore somewhere, but I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, if he's close to the whole Area 51 or like, you know, the Nevada stuff and he's not parking it in the US, Mexico is the place that makes the most sense to me.
Has to be.
Do you want to go over the recent letter that Luna sent to Hegseth? Do you have time?
Sure, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
All right.
quickly skimmed it, but there's some tasty morsels in there for sure.
Oh yeah. So here it is. And the first one that reported on this was Douglas Dean Johnson, who posts a lot of really informative stuff. And he's like really critical also of, like, for example, the Bob Lazar case and other cases. He's been critical of Grush in the past.
Holmgren.
But there's a lot of really useful information that he often posts. And this was a good example. This is what he said. He says, Luna letter to Hegseth requests UAP videos. U.S. House Oversight Committee release April 1st, 2026 says Federal Secrets Task Force Chair Anna Paulina Luna sent a letter to Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth requesting a series of video files related to UAP sightings. Graphic. What does graphic mean? So apparently, can you see this?
Not really.
No? Okay, hold on.
But if you're going to read it, yeah, just zoom. Can you zoom it?
Oh, I took you
That
out.
works. That
Hold
works.
on.
Just go back to the one you just had and then just read it.
I'm just going to read it here, right here.
Cool.
Okay, so here it is. The Honorable Pete Hegseth, Honorable. Okay, it says, Dear Secretary Hegseth, the Committee on Oversight and Government Reforms Task Force on the Declassification of Federal Secrets is continuing its investigation into unidentified aerial phenomena. The continued lack of transparency surrounding these anomalies and the potential national security threat they pose is troubling. On September 9, 2025, the task force held a hearing focused on these concerns. Whistleblowers informed the task force that Arrow possesses additional video records of potential UAP sightings. To continue its investigation, the task force requests certain video files related to UAP sightings. The lack of disclosure regarding the very real threat posed by UAPs in and around the U.S. restricted airspace is concerning. The task force has found responses from Arrow when questioned about UAP sightings and provided data less than adequate. the presence of UAPs in and around the sensitive airspaces of U.S. military installations poses a threat to the security of the armed forces and their readiness. To assist the task force in its investigation of UAPs, we request the following videos be delivered as soon as possible, but no later than April 14th, 2026. So we have a date. That's
2
very
weeks from now.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So number one is for UAP formation in Iran on August 26, 2022. Number two is Syrian UAP instant acceleration 2021. Number three is UAP USO formation Wiley 2 times sync. I don't know what that means, but it doesn't have a date. Number four is cigar-shaped or fat spherical UAP on October 15th, 2022. Number five is spherical UAP erratic movement remix, Rust, 2022.
Remix.
Very specific, bro. It's like file names.
The techno remix, the Xander Jones remix. I love it.
Spherical UAP over AFG in and out of clouds, November 23, 2020.
What's
Number
AFG?
seven is
Any idea?
no idea. No idea. I don't know. Somebody's gonna say it in the chat, I guess.
Yep, please.
Number seven, spherical UAP pulsing over water jacket 2 times. Number 8, spherical UAP in clouds. Number 9, Voodoo 4X cranberry UAP. That's an interesting name.
Come on, man.
What the hell is that? Hold on. I gotta show our faces, man. Sorry, but we can't do it without our reaction.
I missed you. I missed you so much.
Okay, 10 NGA UAP. This is an interesting one. On June 1st, 2010. NGA, as you guys know, is the National Geospatial Agency. So presumably this is one of the most secretive intelligence agencies that weren't known really until very recently. So this is a video directly from them.
And who worked there?
David Grush.
No, he was NRO, wasn't he? Wasn't he? He was NRO.
Who worked there then? I thought it was him. Who were you thinking about?
Is it? Never mind. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me text you something. Keep reading. Keep reading.
Okay, so number 11, spherical UAP Warlock 4X on April 12th, 2021. And there's 3 videos of that one. Video 0, video 1, and video 2. Number 12, AFSOC Kabul, UAP 2017. Number 13 is USCG C-144 UAP 2 Tic Tac IR Hot on April 24, 2024. And it's 2 videos with the same description, it says. Then number 15, multiple spherical UAP USO near sub cactus 1X in and out of water on March 25th, 2022. Number 16 is IIR 1666 SO 15123 video footage of UAP captured by 5th generation aircraft. That's an interesting one. On January 20th, 2023. The 17 is F-18 Flare UAP. Hold on. Did you send me something online? Hold on. Wait. Oh, is that okay to say though?
I don't know. Is that public or not?
I don't know.
then let's not. We won't.
Yeah, I'm not completely sure, but yeah, one of the whistleblowers worked for the NGA apparently. That's what. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Keep it vague. Okay, so what else? Interesting. Oh, this is the big one. Yusuf ANG F-16 call sign AESIR 11 shoots down UAP over Lake Huron with AIM 9X. This was, as you guys remember well, on February 12, 2023, when a lot of different things happened with those alleged Chinese spy balloons, but there was one shoot down that is still very mysterious. Nobody's talking about it. There's not a lot of information on it. There were a lot of different like fake photos that circulated the web of an alleged Tic Tac that was taken down. I'm not sure if that's real, but I would like to see what that's like, what like that video and what really happened there.
Is that the one today that Adam Kinzinger, the former congressman, responded to someone who posted it and said, "That was a balloon, you dummy"?
Yes. And I think that guy is not very well informed because, yeah, some of those were balloons.
I like that guy. Yeah.
Some of those were balloons, but not all of them. There was weird, like the one in Alaska.
The Alaska one? That one was fucking strange.
Weird. Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
What else do we got here? Number 20, administrative revision of the Kazakhstan UAP in vicinity of Karaganda International Airport. I haven't heard of that one. There's another one, and the 21st is several UAP in vicinity of Columbus, Ohio Airport. There's another one in the East China Sea from 2023. And then there's a lot, man. Holy shit.
I'm blown away by I read all of these and I was like, these are so many.
Yes, it's so
and
many.
just over the last 5 years.
In 2020, the majority of them from this list are from 2020 and 2021 too. Persian Gulf, Arabia, Saudi, where else? Mad Dog 31 observes. Man, there's so many. Okay, and this is the final one. It says the Committee on Oversight and Government Reform is a principal oversight committee for the U.S. House of Representatives and has broad authority to investigate any matter at any time under House Rule X, to arrange for delivery of documents, or to ask any related follow-up questions. Please contact the Committee on Oversight and Government Reform majority staff. Thank you for your attention to this important matter. Okay, so it's signed by Luna right there. Man,
She is a
this
pit
is
bull.
exciting. Yeah. And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm very critical of the like overly religious rhetoric that some of these Congress people have. But I do applaud, for example, when Gerb was on with Burleson, the recent podcast they did. We know that Burleson is a Republican. We know that he's a conservative. I have zero issues with people who are conservative as long as they don't affect others with their beliefs, and you know the laws that they influence don't affect other people, especially the marginalized. I don't have issues. And that podcast was really like level-headed. It was like bipartisan, you could say, because they didn't go into any type of criticism, political criticism or anything like that. And I think that's what this topic warrants. Did you watch that episode?
I haven't seen it yet. No, I haven't. I need to. It's been on my list. I've had a little bit of a crazy week, but I've heard good stuff. It's an hour long.
Yeah, it's about an hour, a little over. I think that Luna, though, she's a little bit closer to the White House because she was named the chair for the task force. And she does have constant contact with people like Hegseth and Trump as well.
Yeah.
And when the war started in Iran, I did notice that she was sort of supportive of it. And I didn't like that. That didn't sit well with me. I think that those things need to be separated. The same thing happens, for example, with Schellenberger. Like, I didn't know he was so biased about these topics. There was a recent report from him that he says that Epstein didn't work for any intel agencies. I was like, you fucking kidding me, dude? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You know? I don't know what you think about that. Sorry, I didn't mean to get it a little bit political, but I think it's like linked.
Well,
you know,
the bottom line, politics are part of this whole thing. I mean, it just is. You know, we're not sharing like political beliefs, but politics is a major part of this conversation.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And even though you and I lean as more like liberal folks and Democratic type folks, the fact is right now is that Republicans are taking charge and leading this thing at the moment. So they have my support. Like, let's get some answers. And Luna is is an ass kicker, and she doesn't take it
Dude,
from anybody.
she's fighting
and-
like a fucking lioness,
Yep.
dude. It's kudos to her for that, man, because
Again,
they're
the
staying
stuff she
on. And
does-
that only tells you though that what the hell did they see? If they're so adamant that they want the stuff released and they're so convinced that whatever they saw they don't understand, what the hell were they shown? Do you have any insight into what they might have been shown?
Not specifically, but I know that they've seen things that are completely unambiguous. This is not something that is man-made, and I feel very confident that they've seen stuff where there's like, it leaves no doubt, like zero doubt as to like, okay, we're dealing with something completely different than us.
That's wild.
But no details.
Hopefully-
I would love to know like what, but clearly some of the things that have made them feel that way are those videos that they're asking for. Some of those in there, of those requests, I think are some of the mind-blowing things.
Do you find it weird that because there's always been this idea that there's a larger version of the gimbal video?
Mhm.
Do you find it weird that they didn't ask for that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, actually, yes.
It's
That
strange,
seems like
right?
that seems like an oversight for the oversight committee. I think they kind of missed that one.
Yeah, and
Also,
they-
the jellyfish that
Yeah,
goes and goes in the water and comes out. You know, the 25
Go
minute-
Fast isn't there either, though. Also,
True. Maybe, or maybe there's a possible that the things they're asking for are so much better than those videos where like it doesn't matter. Like the gimbal video, we're caught up on it because it's only one of the few videos that we've been shown. But maybe to them, that's like child's play. That's like Atari graphics compared to PS5. You know,
I would guess that out of all of those videos, probably like maybe half of them are gonna be probably explainable, probably. But there's a lot. Maybe the other half isn't as explainable. It is more close up. But yeah, those that are like taken from planes directly. We don't know the type of imagery that we're gonna get from those videos. It could be just FLIR images as well, you know. So, and that can be easily explained sometimes, even though it may not be whatever it's explained.
But the bottom line is like there's 25 videos they asked for in that or something like that, 27 video, whatever it was. 20, let's say it's 20.
Yeah.
It just takes one of them to be something from somewhere else, and this conversation is over.
It's
You know what I mean?
46 videos. Holy
Okay.
shit.
Again, it takes one of those to be a flying saucer or something from somewhere else to ice this conversation of like, okay,
yeah,
1 out of 45, 1 out of whatever is alien. That's conversation over.
And no executive order yet. I would guess that this probably should be able to like prompt that faster, right? Because
You
she
would
already
think, but-
sent the letter.
I don't think he's gonna do that.
You don't think
I
so?
don't think he's allowed to. I don't think he's allowed to.
He's way too focused on the war as well. So maybe that's
Yeah.
another reason.
Yeah, and you know he only has. I don't want to get into Epstein stuff, but there's only a few Hail Marys left for him.
Yeah.
But also, I want to know about this 23-minute video that we've been hearing about for years. The one that Lou talked about.
So many years.
So many years. Do you have any insight as to what that is, or if we've seen anything partial to it, or?
You know what's weird about these alleged videos that are always talked about? Whenever I approach people who would know to ask, it sort of seems like there's this club of people that know about these specifics. But whoever comes like knocking on their door to ask and is not part of that group, they don't really like share anything.
I'm fine
And
with
I
that.
know that I'm resourceful though. Maybe I will get information about that, but that's the response that I've been getting for a couple years now since I've started asking. And I understand, like, I understand that there's people that have a lot of information that is not, they're not able to share it at this specific moment. I do get that. And I get the feeling that this guy has a channel. He probably wants to publish it. I do. So I get it. Whenever I get ghosted or something like that, I get it. I completely get it. I don't mind. It is weird though that there seems to be like just like a little grade, a degree of separation, and we just can't get there. And it's been a few years like that. And for example, you're friends with Corbell. Probably he already has access to some of these videos, but it's not legal to, put them out there or something. He probably has already seen something,
Well, he alluded today that one of the ones that is on that list is that instant acceleration one that him and George put out a couple weeks ago. So that's one of the videos on that list. But I think Luna's trying to get it public, so it shows where it came from, to like say this is a legitimate video. You know what I mean? But yeah, I would assume that he and others have seen a handful of those already.
Yeah, I agree. Man, I hope it happens quickly. We have how many? 13 days from now to get those. Hopefully the world doesn't end between now and then and they do release something. Because man, it's escalating so quickly,
How many seconds to midnight are we?
Oh man,
85.
I don't even
85 seconds to midnight.
I don't even want to know. It's just like just yesterday. I saw some of the biggest explosions I've seen in the war just yesterday, and I don't know how we can get out of this without it becoming a complete shit show. It's already a shit show, but trust me, it can get much worse.
It's such a bummer, dude. I just like your listeners, my listeners, our friend group, our families. People just want to have a peaceful life and just live and have joy and eat food and have sex and go to movies and concerts, and all this is just nonsense. It's nonsense.
Yeah.
Really sad.
Yeah, it is. Well, I don't know what will happen over the next 13 days, but let's just hope it's okay. I didn't plan this. I have you here out of chance because you had a little time.
Oh, yeah.
But I did have planned to analyze a video, and it's something that I just saw for the first time ever. I didn't see it before that. And it's a video because it's Bob Lazar week, and
oh, that's right. Is it Friday? It comes out.
It on the 3rd. It comes out. Yeah, Friday on Amazon, and there's already. I think Patrick from Beddit had Luigi on, and he asked him if it was true that the Joe Rogan interview was happening with him and Bob, and he was like, "Sorry, the mic. I can't hear you." It was like that was pretty much a confirm for me.
Yeah.
So it is happening. Probably it's gonna drop maybe tonight, tomorrow, something like that, or on the same day.
I think it would be day of.
Yeah. But I did want to explore the more skeptical views on Bob, because as you know, I'm on the fence a little bit on Bob. I did get a recognition from, for example, George Knapp at one point that he appreciated that I wasn't completely dismissive of Bob Lazar's story, and I'm not. But I do want to look at somebody who I have respected because I know that they did a lot of work and they're skeptical of him. And there's a video that a buddy of mine from X posted of Dr. Stanton Friedman talking about Bob.
Oh yeah.
Do you mind if we
I've seen
go?
it. Sure.
Do you mind if we go over it and we talk about it a little bit?
I love Stanton, so I could watch Stanton for 10 hours. So of course, let's do it. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so let me play you this. Shout out to Paranormal on X because he's the one who posted this.
He's cool.
And I thought this was really interesting because this is Stanton Friedman talking about Bob Lazar and how much investigation he did into Bob's claims and why he's always been really skeptical about Bob. He doesn't believe a thing about Bob's story. So let's watch it and then talk about it afterwards, if that's okay with you.
Yep.
All right.
We have people ostensibly with credentials who are frauds and who have glommed onto pop culture. Two that come to mind. Robert Scott Lazar, supposedly a nuclear physicist with a master's in physics from MIT, a master in electronics from Caltech, who supposedly worked at Area 51, back engineering flying saucers, figured out how they work using element 115. It's a long, detailed story. You can buy the video someplace else, not from me. I did a lot of checking on Bob. I tried to meet with him twice. I was supposed to on one occasion, and he didn't go along. I checked at MIT. I checked at Caltech. Neither one ever heard of them. Well, but the government wiped his records clean is the response. I talked to the legal counsel at MIT. No way to do that. I talked with the guy who has the degrees, the commencement lists and all that sort of thing. No mention of Lazar. None of the yearbooks show Lazar. You need it for master's thesis. Well, for a master's degree, you need a thesis. I talked to the guy who holds those. No Lazar item there. He was asked publicly, when did you get your master's from MIT? Well, let me see now. I think it was, probably 1982. I have friends who went to MIT. I was accepted there myself, couldn't afford to go out of high school. And nobody who gets a master's degree in physics from MIT doesn't know what year he got it in. He was asked to name some of his professors. Well, let's see now. He named somebody, Bill, somebody, I won't use his name on the air. I checked on him. It was not a common name, fortunately. He was a physicist. The only trouble is Bob said he would remember him from Caltech. This individual, Bill, never taught at Caltech. He only taught at Pierce Junior College. Now, Bob himself had mentioned Pierce to me on the phone. He did go there. Now, that's in Southern California, and he was going there at the same time that he was supposedly attending MIT, 2,500 miles east of there. One heck of a commute. If you can go to MIT, you don't go to Pierce Junior College. But beyond that, I checked with his high school. He finished in the bottom third of his high school class. You can't get into MIT if you're outside, usually the top 10, 15, 20% of your class. Bottom third, never. His element 115 scheme won't work. Sounds good, science fiction. So, I checked with Los Alamos. He is in the phone book there. Doesn't that prove that he was a scientist working there? No, it certainly doesn't prove he was a scientist. But if you look at the phone book page, up at the very top, it says, this phone book for employees of the Los Alamos National Laboratory, the Department of Energy, Kirk Meyer Corporation, several other companies. Right after Bob's name, and it was only in one phone book issue. They issue them every several months. It says K/M. That's Kirk Meyer, a subcontractor. He worked out at the Maison facility. Don't need a clearance for that. People come in from all over the world, physicists, to do experiments, and he was a technician working out there. And the story goes on and on beyond that. And I get people telling me, well, I don't see why you don't believe him. He seems so sincere. Sincerity is not a check on truth. A lot of women who can tell you that about men who marry many times without benefit of divorce and take money from the people that they marry. They are sincere to the nth degree. Liars get good at it. Now, entirely differently, in terms of background, Lieutenant Colonel Philip J. Corso came out with a book on the 50th anniversary of Roswell, first published right in Roswell, called The Day After Roswell, in which he claims that when he was at the Foreign Technology Desk of the Army Research and Development Command at the Pentagon under General Trudeau, he surreptitiously slipped the filing cabinet full of advanced technology, wreckage from Roswell, into the hands of American industry, and he saved the world. That's how we got Kevlar and micro-integrated circuits and a whole long list of things. And it was a great story. And the foreword of the book was by Senator Strom Thurmond, the oldest serving member of the Senate, who said nice things about Corso, but in his intro, his foreword says nothing about Roswell. Well, to make a very long story short, when you start checking on Colonel Corso, Lieutenant Colonel Corso, things just don't check out. He provides no validation for any other claims. There's no index in the book either. They say new documents finally released. There's nothing new in there. And many people have gone through. I know one PhD who was a colonel in the military who found, he sent me a list of 92 false claims made in the book. 92. I mean, just technically wrong all over the place. Well, you can blame that on the co-author maybe. But some of the discoveries, a physicist just won a Nobel Prize, for example, for work done 3 years before Corso was connected with the Army Research and Development Group. He's a nice gentleman. I met him while he was alive. But his claims, Senator Thurmond withdrew his forward wasn't in the next edition of the book because it was written for an entirely different book about Corso's activities. Corso talked about the FBI, his good buddy Hoover. When his FBI file was released, Hoover had nothing but bad things to say about Corso. Now, it muddied the waters and got a lot of attention. Why would such a distinguished military man? Well, the real military people will tell you, he only made lieutenant colonel after 22 years in. A lot of lieutenant colonels, not nearly as many full colonels. So it's another example of taking advantage, opportunism, if you will. He also claimed that he was a member of the National Security Council, and a sworn statement for a lawyer was going to go after the government to spill out all Colonel Corso's files. Well, I checked with the Eisenhower Library. He not only was never a member of the National Security Council, which is very prestigious indeed, he never attended a meeting of the National Security Council. He was a liaison between the Security Council and some other groups. It doesn't help ufology to have this kind of thing going on. People accept a great deal, and his book sold well, but I'm sorry, it isn't what it claims to be. It's not a real expose of the truth about Roswell and flying saucers and government's new technology. Cut.
That is wild. What do you think about this, man?
If that were my first introduction to someone like Bob Lazar or Corso, I would take Stanton at his word and be like, yeah, it sounds like these guys are not truthful. His explanations are solid. It's a good video. He's a well-spoken, very smart guy. And I don't really have a good retort for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know.
I guess that Luigi on the Somewhere in the Skies podcast, which happened yesterday, I believe, or the day before that, he said that there was going to be evidence that was going to prove unequivocally that Bob Lazar is telling the truth. What do you think that evidence could be? Do you think maybe there's like documents presented, or
but that's not,
you know, that
that's I can't imagine any bit of evidence that would prove anything. Right? I mean, what could it possibly be besides?
Well, do you remember that video that Jeremy Corbell showed on the Bob Lazar documentary, where there's like this close up of some kind of material?
The VHS
he made
video
it seem like it was. He made it seem like that was the element. Do you think it's possible that that raid that Bob claims he had on that documentary has anything to do with him probably having something in his possession?
I think that's a foregone conclusion, right? I think that's what we all think, is that it had to do with something like that.
Man,
because what else would they raid him for? I mean, I don't know. I don't know
if it's real though. If he does have some of that alleged element, and it's shown that potentially the government could think that he would be breaking the law, right? Because it would be sort of like a McKinnon situation, of sorts,
or any of the whistleblowers. Like if you were to bring in Fravor or someone for lying under oath about chasing a UAP, but like they can prove it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're admitting that someone broke the law, that's also admitting that the thing is real. So if Bob coughs up 115 and he's prosecuted by the U.S. government, that is also confirming
an admission.
So again, it's another one of these stare downs of like, who's going to flinch first?
They're playing chicken.
Yeah. It's like sci-fi chicken, and it's crazy.
Oh shit!
And there's no way to really. I don't know how people proceed. Like the moment that a whistleblower says something, and charges are brought, this topic is going to get incredibly serious incredibly quickly, because it's going to mean a lot. And there might be a time when the government, maybe they figure out that like this truth is coming no matter what, or we're going to announce that this is real. And then we're going to go after these guys. We're going to prosecute these guys for being treasonous. That's possible too.
Yeah. And when it comes to Stanton, though, I wanted to, because I've been investigating the case of Dr. Greenberg for a while, and I know sort of dynamic that goes on with these intel agencies that want to hire scientists who are like working on edge technology and all of that stuff. What they did was that they put out sort of like invitations, and they sent like offers to make them go to universities in the US to lecture. And when they were there, that's what they used to approach them and offer them jobs and like compartments. And, you know, and presumably this is what happened to Grimberg as well. So he kept allegedly saying no, but there are accounts that spot him at different universities during that time when it was happening. He was allegedly denying or refusing these offers. Can you imagine, like, because if they were hiding Bob's past and history and they tried to erase everything, can you imagine them having Stanton Friedman on their neck, like trying to look for evidence and them just covering it up as they went along?
Right.
You know, if Bob is legit, they probably went through a lot of like that, like just covering up evidence, right?
Yeah, and I don't think I mean, I don't know how it would actually be done, but I don't think it'd be impossible for in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s for any government agency to erase someone's school records.
I would
or
argue it
employment
would
records.
be easier then than now, right?
Yeah, I mean, back then it was like physical records kept in some place.
Yeah.
If you're the NSA or the CIA or FBI, you can get access to any building in the middle of the night anytime you want and go get those things and remove them. And then there you go, presto, no record of anyone's employment records or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it could be the kind of thing where you go and talk to people that work there and be like, listen, this is a very serious thing. We can really ruin your life. If someone comes asking if you've heard of Robert Lazar, it would be wise for you to say that you've never heard of him. If you care about your kids, or you care about your career, or you care about whatever, what's to stop them from? We know that this stuff happens. We know this happens. So why wouldn't that be done back in the 80s and 90s when you're talking about, at the time, the guy making the most explosive claims in human history?
Yeah, and we can expect from that Rogan interview that it will drop. I would guess that that's going to take over as the most watched episode, because the number one is Elon and then Bob's, the first interview. I would guess that this one is going to have a similar impact, and
probably
in the same week, I would guess that also people like Chris Ramsey or Jesse Michaels probably already have some kind of recorded interview. They're slick like that, you know.
That'd be cool if that was true, wouldn't it?
I mean,
Oh,
it's
man,
it's easy.
I can only wish.
It's easy to predict. It's
can
easy
only
to
wish.
predict, though.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah, it's going to be an exciting week for sure. So when people, when like George Knapp has been asked that question a million times, what does George say about the school and employment records?
There's a video from one of the conferences, and I think it was Ozark UFO conference, where he's talking about this, and he's saying like, yeah, like it's very possible that he probably faked the records, but he's like, I still incline myself to believe him because of everything else that I researched. That's a detail that can be easily covered up, and I do agree with him there. I wonder though, where does his gut reaction against somebody like Dan Burrish come from? Because the stories are so similar, you know, in many aspects. And he was the one who famously wrote that debunking article of
04,
Burrish's claims. Yeah. What do you think about that contrast there?
I don't know for sure, but did Burish's claims change over the course of his years of interviews? Because he was interviewed over the course of like what, 4, 5, 6 years only.
Yeah,
like there's a small window of interviews.
I think Clint will answer this better than me, but I do think that there were things that were added subsequently, like after the first interview and then the second, there were new things. I don't think there were changed things, just that he was adding more stuff over the interviews.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. Both of them, I have them on the maybe bucket. I'm not
Okay.
fully sold on any of those, but certainly the whole lore that they created, both of them though, very interesting. Very interesting, I think.
Yeah, and also like Bob's story to this day, I don't think he's really added any
Nothing at all.
details.
No.
Nothing's changed. I know there's
No.
more
And
to his story than he's ever let on. There's
yeah,
some stuff
that's
that he's
what
never
Luigi said
talked about.
yesterday too. Yeah, that there's stuff that he's omitting for safety.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But none of that. None of that changes what I think Bob's core story is. And I'm an 80 to 85% Bob on board. I'm a believer guy.
Okay.
Because it just doesn't seem crazy to me. And also, like I think there's also people who might work in some of these programs that maybe like weren't the best in school, but have certain abilities like
That's me. That's me.
Oh yeah. Sure.
I sucked at school,
Yep.
but I'm good at other things. And yeah.
It took me 5.5 years to get through high school because I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like mornings. I don't want to know about this stuff. And I feel like
Same.
I'm not a dummy. You know, work things worked out fine for me. Just school isn't for everybody. So I think someone like Bob, who has this incredibly inquisitive and like wonder-filled mind, someone like that, you turn him loose on something like trying to reverse engineer a UFO. Maybe it wasn't great in algebra or whatever, but maybe he can excel at something like that. Who knows?
Yeah.
People are weird. I
Yeah.
mean, now that we know more about, like, I'm not saying Bob is autistic, but when we see like the pros of like autism, how you can like struggle a little bit socially and just have this savant mind, I think someone like that could be utilized pretty easily by all kinds of people and organizations.
Yes. And self-thought as well.
Mhm.
There's so many like that in history though. We can go back even to the Da Vinci times. That guy was all self-thought, and
The what?
look at everything he did. Da Vinci.
Oh,
Leonardo
Da Vinci. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah. And I would think, because the story is that they were like on a roadblock at that point, and they wanted to think outside the box and get in somebody who would help them with that, with the research and the reverse engineering aspect of it. And that's what they got Bob, because of that, right?
Yes. Do you want me to call Clint right now and ask him about Burish if he changed his claims over the years? Okay, cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'll tell him that he can't hear you.
Yeah, that's cool.
What the hell, dude?
Oh, that's a bummer.
No, he's walking his dog.
Probably.
Send me a voicemail, you son of a bitch.
We're hanging out here, folks.
What unbelievable. Okay. Anyway, I
Okay.
told him to call me. So what's your conviction on Bob? I know you said you're on the fence. Are you 50-50 or where are you at?
The thing is that I got, when I started talking about him, I started getting emails from people like old timers from the era that knew Stanton. And they sent me a couple of papers. Yeah.
Hi, buddy.
Hey man, what's up?
I'm streaming with Pavel. He cannot, you guys cannot hear each other, but right now we're comparing Bob and Burish. And we're talking about how Bob's claims never changed over the years. And Burish was only interviewed for like a span of 4 or 5 years, maybe?
Yeah, about 5 years.
Okay.
Maybe, and then he popped up like once more a little later on, and that was it.
Okay. And over the course of those times, did he add stuff to his story as the interviews went along, or did he kind of let it all out from the beginning?
That's an interesting question, because he did talk about mostly the same stuff throughout, but over time, his story evolved, and there was a little bit more to it.
Okay.
Like, he was supposedly kicked out of the program, and then later he was brought back in, and now he's a part, supposedly, of Majestic. And according to Brian, he's pretty high up. So
Brian Jackson. Okay.
yeah. So it's a little confusing as to like what's actually going on, but that's the best.
Okay. Cool.
The best answer.
Awesome. Thank you, buddy. That's it for now.
Yeah, no problem, man.
All right. Chat later. Bye.
See, that's what I told you. It's like he at the later part of the interviews, he sort of started adding stuff that it was new.
Always weird. It's weird, and I
It
get, like,
is.
you come out, you say some stuff, you get a little bit of heat, and people talk about it for a while. I mean, Stephen Greer is the perfect person like this, where great work, great information early on. And then at a certain point, you would think that people would stop telling you things because you just go blurt it out in like multiple documentaries. But when people's stories change and like weirder stuff gets added, it's a little bit of a red flag. But then that being said, I know people have had some crazy experiences, public ones, and there are things from their experiences that are not public yet, or maybe they never will be.
In my opinion, another good example is Dan Sherman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he tells the story and he tells what happened, and that's it. And when he spoke to Jesse in the interview, he about the book, and when he speaks to Jesse, he talks about the exact same thing, and how whenever Jesse asks him something that can be like probably he can add stuff to it, he goes like, I don't know about that. And that's a green flag for me.
There's nothing I love more than an I don't know from someone in this world. I love it because it's like, oh, cool. You don't feel you're not feeling the pressure to appease my question. And I feel like in this topic, most answers probably should be I don't know or I don't understand. You know, so when someone's coming in with like all kinds of answers and boom, 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 this is that. It's like, well, that's weird. You're the only guy that knows all of it. I definitely have more conviction on Bob than I do Burish by quite a bit.
Yeah. I do too. I'm like 50-50 on Bob, and I'm like 30-70 on Burish. It just feels very strange how like the whole website and all mysterious and the code names and all that shit. It's like I'm playing a fucking spy game. And no offense to people who believe Dan Burish, but it feels really strange to me. It feels like he's probably part of the op or something like that. All of that, you know, that website, that and all that stuff. But yeah, I try, and I've been called a fence sitter. I don't give a shit if you don't like that I'm a fence sitter. You know, it's like, like
there's nothing wrong with that.
Why do I have to like make a decision if I don't have enough data to, you know, because there are many cases like that, many cases like that, and I'm completely fine with saying I have no clue. But what I'm not going to do is, for example, whenever somebody comes out with an experience and they talk to you about it, and you can see that they're like deeply affected by it, I'm not going to go and say, oh, this person is probably going through some mental break, you know, the low-hanging fruit kind of critique. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to listen to them, and if I believe it or not, that's not really what matters. What matters is that this person was brave enough to come out and talk about what they experienced, and they're trying to seek answers, just like everybody else.
100%. Totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
I think that's where we resonate a lot, you and me, because for me, it's like the biggest neglected story out of this whole thing. People's experiences, and it just pisses me off because I've always gotten this question from people. They go like, so Pavel, you believe people who have credentials and they're scientists and that were in military positions really high up, but why doesn't people believe in what happened to me? I went through something really strong and really impactful, and just because I'm a fucking designer, I don't have these credentials, that's why my story doesn't count. That's bullshit, and I agree. Like,
it is bullshit.
You know?
I mean, just you think that a police officer or a general or a president doesn't have the ability to lie, but you look at court cases. I mean, there are police caught lying all the time. There's politicians, like, sometimes they're caught telling the truth. That's how politics works, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I mean, I believe my neighbor next door as much as I believe a military person who saw something. It's a case-to-case thing. And I think for people that don't believe it, I would love for those people to sit face-to-face with somebody who's had an experience where they were taken out of their bed and taken through a wall in their home, and you sit there and you let these people talk to you and tell you what they experienced, and then when they're done, you tell me that they're lying. I would love for you to tell me that these people are lying, and talk to 5 of those people, talk to 10 of those people, and I am very, very confident that you will not walk away thinking that all 10 are lying to you.
Yeah, I agree
Because
there.
they're not.
Yeah. It's something that they believe happened to them. And whatever that is, most of them don't know if it's real or not, but they know that they went through it, you know, and it was real to them. Their physical self felt it and their psyche felt it. And that's, you know, I don't like when people just dismiss those stories and they go to the easy answer, like it's way out there. So therefore, I choose not to believe it, you know?
John Mack, this
yeah.
book is full of people's testimonies. Now, like, are they all telling the truth? Maybe not, but it just, like I said earlier, it takes one of these people to be telling the truth for abductions and contact to be real. Just one.
Yes.
That's out of one book. You know, it's just, yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. So I think we're gonna leave it at that because we covered everything. Dan, I want to thank you for your time, man. Thank you for like in the last minute we experienced
Impromptu, it's
something
great.
historic.
That was fun. We'll never forget it.
Yeah, man.
Very cool, buddy. And thanks for having me.
Yeah, and thank you to everybody who was here. I didn't get to read all the comments there. I'm sorry about that. It was a very dynamic kind of live stream, but I want to thank you all for being here, and I'll see you guys on the next live stream, and I'll see you on Doomer Friday, Dan.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. Remember, guys, stay curious and inquisitive like us all the time.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
There it is.
Psicoactive.
Woohoo!